Dolphins fans, sixth and final OTA practice session was on Friday for your Miami Dolphins. Unfortunately, media was not allowed in to report on this one, so we have very little information. However, we did get a few nuggets throughout the day, plus a couple of other outlying situations that we want to hit on today. So we will talk about that in today's video. However, before I start, should note mandatory minicamp runs June 6th through 8th for the Miami Dolphins. And I'm going to be releasing a minicamp preview video either on Sunday or a Monday coming up here. So get subscribed if you have not already. Turn on those little notifications. You won't miss a thing once it drops. But the biggest news from the day, not really even on-field related, but 3 of the 4 Miami Dolphins draft picks from the 2023 NFL draft are officially signed. You know, today's June 2nd. After June 1st, that post-June 1st cut money, essentially the Byron Jones money, ended up getting freed up. What's that mean? We got a little bit to spend on a few pieces. However, we knew we obviously needed to sign our own first, and that includes our own. So you got De'Von Achane, you've got Elijah Higgins, you got Ryan Hayes. All of those are signed. Every one of our draft picks, we only had 4, except for Cam Smith, the second rounder. And why is this all important? Well, you got to be under contract in order to practice this off seasons. Not in these OTA sessions, obviously, but once training camp and all that kind of stuff starts rolling around, got to be under contract in order to participate. So obviously, getting these rookie deals in the books out of the way is big, and I wouldn't really fret about the whole Cam Smith thing. I am assuming that his signing will happen sooner rather than later. And there actually is one contract that we were able to get details on, and that is De'Von Achane. It is a 4-year deal worth $5.437 million, nearly $1 million signing bonus. And we talk about Devon Achane and how pumped we were about this kind of a prospect and his potential fitting with the Miami Dolphins, even before the draft. And then once you get him, you know the speed, you know the experience in zone blocking, you know he's a little bit undersized, but you know what he brings to the table in regards to explosive playmaking in the run game, in the receiving game as well. And every single practice that's been open to the media so far, what's the name we're hearing? Who are we hearing? Who's been super electric? It's our guy, De'Von Achane. So if there's an argument that, because what's popular right now? Miami Dolphins pursued of Dalvin Cook. If there's an argument against pursuing Dalvin Cook, you could say, you know what, we're pretty good. You got Mostert, you got Wilson, you know what you're getting with them. Salvon Ahmed isn't a slouch. He can get it done running and pass catching as well. And now if you got De'Von Achane that's emerging like this, do you really need a guy like Dalvin Cook if Achane is as advertised in these OTAs? So let's bleed into Dalvin Cook as another topic in today's video. Because from my understanding, the latest that I've been heard in the reports and what has been told to me as well is that the Dolphins do remain interested, but it's got to be at the right price point because the Dolphins like the guys they have. You know that Mike McDaniel is tight with Mostert and Wilson. He went crazy when they drafted De'Von Achane. They brought Salvon Ahmed back. They like the guys they have. But Mike McDaniel sees a guy like Dalvin Cook and he says, you know what he does? He helps our offensive line in general. Good running backs make mediocre line play look actually pretty damn good. He thinks Dalvin Cook can do that. He thinks he can help with ball control. He thinks he can help kind of ease that pressure off Tua in the passing game as well. So yeah, if the price is right, Miami is indeed interested. That's all I have at this point in time. It's not even close to like a deal is done. He's going to be automatically going to Miami if released. They have a trade package for him. I have nothing along those signs. I just know that there is still some interest in Dalvin Cook. Now, how do I personally feel about this? I'm on the fence because I go by the strategy of you can win with a running back by committee these days. Look at the previous Super Bowl winners. Do any of them have these top flight running backs? Do they have the Saquon Barkleys? Do they have the Austin Ecklers? Do they have the Jonathan Taylors? Not yet. We haven't seen that yet. So you can get by with a running back by committee, especially with the guys that we have. You got Wilson who can be a power back. You got Mostert, you got Achane that can be your speed guys. Numerous of these guys can make plays in the receiving game as well. So I like what we have. I think that we can win what we have. The opposite of that comes though, if Mike McDaniel, if the coaching staff believes that Dalvin Cook is the type of guy that takes you from here to here, and if your window to win right now is happening, who am I to say no? If that's really what ends up putting this team over the edge, if he can make the offensive line play better than what it is, maybe you go all in. Maybe this is your opportunity to do that with a guy like Dalvin Cook. So I'm kind of on the fence about it. I can see it both ways. I don't have a strong feeling one way or another. I do think we can get it done without him. But like I said, I'm kind of a broken record here. I think that if this is your window to compete, go all in. Push those chips in. Go get your guy if you think he is the guy. I want to address one other player that I've been getting some questions about as well, and that is DeAndre Hopkins. Now, it is my understanding that DeAndre Hopkins representatives have reached out to the Miami Dolphins to gauge their interest. However, Miami essentially picked up the phone, said thanks, but no thanks. And that's really all I have on that one. That was just that was given to me. My thoughts on DeAndre Hopkins, great receiver. I think he still has stuff left in the tank. I think he can compete at a high level and help a team kind of go to that next level, help out young wide receivers in the room. Here's my issue though. I don't think he's a great fit in Miami for a couple of reasons. One, we don't necessarily need him. We've got a pretty stacked wide receiver room the way it is. And can he jump in and kind of be like just a tier, just a class, just a little smidget below a guy like Hill and Waddle? Yeah, he would clearly be in that top three. Don't get me wrong. But do you want to put all those resources just in those receiver positions as well? There's only one ball to go around. We're already talking about Dalvin Cook and all these running backs as well. So yeah, Hopkins can be really good, but we're talking about having one of the deeper wide receiver units in the league the way it is. You still want to develop Easy. You still got Braxton Berrios. You still got Cedrick Wilson. You brought back River Cracraft. Robbie Chosen, if that's what he's going by now, we still got him who's looked good during these OTA sessions. There are some other needs. And then the other component of this is, what does Mike McDaniel want from his wide receivers? He wants guys that can get separation and create after the catch and all that good stuff. And Hopkins is pretty good after the catch. He's just not what you would typically see as one of those separators. There's an advanced metric out there that Devontae Parker used to always be like bottom 5 in the league. And that was essentially your amount of separation per route run. And good receivers can have a bad metric in that, but we've seen Hopkins low on that list as well. He's just not your classic fit of being a guy that can just get open right away on his own and then create after the catch from there. He is a physical. He's going to beat you with his size. He can still get up and he can separate. Don't get me wrong. He's just not exactly what this team is looking for at wide receiver. So could he fit? Would Mike McDaniel make him fit? Sure. I have all the trust in the world that he would. However, with there being more needs on this team with our receiver unit as deep as it is, I don't see it as this pressing need. The Dolphins, based on what I am hearing, don't see it as this pressing need. Like I said thanks, but no thanks. One last nugget. I will close today's video out on the orange jersey. Who was wearing the orange jersey today and Friday's practice? Andrew Van Ginkel. We know the reports of him working outside linebacker, edge rusher, inside in the middle at linebacker as well. Another thing that you actually would have gotten from the Fins Up Network first if you would have been subscribed. So like I said, get subscribed. We had that information and we got that out. Like I said, it's a pretty small nugget, like a tiny pat on the back. We had that out in the video the day before Cam Wolf even dropped that one as well. But that's really all that I have from today's video, Miami Dolphins fans. Like I said, keep your eyes peeled for that minicamp preview video that'll be dropping either Sunday or a Monday. But until then, Miami Dolphins fans, Fins up.